माननीय मुख्य अतिथि महोदय के करकमलों द्वारा कहते हैं कि सदा भवानी दाहिने सन्मुख रहे गणेश। दीप की लौ जब जब अभिनंदन करें और आपसे निवेदन है कि तालियों के साथ इनका स्वागत करें। श्री विशाल महाजन जी, श्री सनी महाजन जी, तिब्बतियन गवर्नमेंट इन एग्जाइल और आज के हमारे मुख्य अतिथि हैं। आपका जन्म 5 सितंबर 1968 को खूबसूरत चाय नगरी दार्जिलिंग में हुआ था। छोटे छोटे कदमों से आपने आगे बढ़ना शुरू किया। अपनी शिक्षा आपने हार्वर्ड लॉ स्कूल से ली और धीरे धीरे राजनीति में आप आए। आपकी तरक्की और आपकी मेहनत को देखते हुए तिब्बतियन समुदाय ने और पावन दलाई लामा जी ने आपको 2011 में एक बहुत बड़े पद से नवाजा और आपको फिर वो जो तिब्बत की जनता है उनका प्यार मिला। आज आप राष्ट्रपति के पद पे हैं। नीमा जी ने ठीक कहा था कि एक दिन आएगा कि आप संपूर्ण तिब्बत के राष्ट्रपति होंगे। ऐसी हमारी मानना है, हमारी भगवान से प्रार्थना है, भगवान अंगंजन देव से निवेदन है कि ये आपकी जो मनोकामना, आपके जो तिब्बत के समुदाय के लोग हैं उनकी पीड़ा को देखते हुए ये आपको जरूर नवाजें। मैं सिर्फ इतना कहूँगा कि धर्मशाला के लोग सर आपकी बहुत इज्जत करते हैं। धर्मशाला के लोग आपकी बहुत इज्जत करते हैं। आप हमेशा रहें बुलंदियों पे, ये दुआ करते हैं। इन शब्दों के साथ मैं निवेदन करूंगा श्री सांगे जी से कि कृपया वो अपना यहाँ पर आशीर्वाद दें, अपने प्रवचनों से, अपनी बातों से सबको भाव विभोर करें। श्री लोबसंग सांगे जी, जोरदार तालियां।
It's a great privilege to be here, as it's really humble to be the chief guest because I accepted the invitation because as Tibetans we are guests here in this great land of India and particularly in this beautiful town of Dharamshala. So whenever I am asked to come as a guest, I always remember myself as a guest and often accept the invitation. And to be here in amidst all the people who have made great achievements and contribution for the society, for business, for various fields, it's a great honor for me also. Because as Mohini Daljit Singh was awarded and recognized here, and your service means a lot to the community, so I want to congratulate you on your service. तो आपने भी कहा, the moderator said, जो सबको देता है कुछ मांगता नहीं और कुछ लेता नहीं, वही प्यार है। तो उसमें से मेरे को याद आया कि तिब्बती के लिए भारत देश जो है हमारे लिए सब देता है, कुछ लेता नहीं और कुछ मांगता नहीं। तो I'm stealing quotes from the moderator. He speaks very good Hindi, no? Yeah. So, Anupam Gupta ji, as you said, you run 7,000 crores worth business and employ about 4,000 people. The fact that you employ, and you rightly said, you not only deliver homes after construction, but you actually provide for 7,000 families and their home and livelihood, which is a great achievement. So I want to acknowledge and applaud you and all others who are receiving the award, because I don't have all the names. Again, he said, फूलों के बीच गुलाब एक ही होता है. भारत में, there are many states in India, but for us, gulab is Himachal Pradesh. ठीक है कहा? As I said, I was not a good student, but I'm trying to learn, no? So that's why I came here. For us, India is a country which has done the most for Tibetan people and Tibetan cause. That's why His Holiness Dalai Lama always says he is a son of India, because he has spent around 60 years in India and he grew up eating dal bhat and roti. So his physical body essentially is made up of Indian food. And more importantly, he says his brain, his knowledge, his wisdom comes from Indian ancient tradition or Nalanda tradition. So he considered himself as the disciple or chela of Indian gurus. And he is the best messenger actually India has. Whenever he travels around the world, he never says first, I am a Tibetan and I am Dalai Lama. He says, I am a student or chela of this great country and Nalanda tradition. Hence, we owe a lot to this great country, and because we have learned a lot and we've been hosted here as a guest of India for the last 60 years. And our struggle is still going on. The Freedom House Index lists Tibet as the least free region after Syria. Now everybody knows about the condition or the human rights condition of Syria. It's in the news all the time. But who knew that the second least free region after Syria is it's Tibet? Is before Eritrea and before South Sudan. And because we are talking about journalists here, Samast Bharat magazine has been launched and is doing very well. As per Reporters Without Borders, for journalists, it's more difficult to go to Tibet than North Korea. Now everybody knows about North Korea, but not many people know about Tibet. But for journalists, more difficult to go to Tibet than North Korea. That's why you don't get much report about human rights violation, the environmental destruction, and cultural assimilation and political repression much in the news, because journalists cannot go. And today, this event is organized by Samast Bharat magazine, and I want to congratulate Nima Taman for the effort, because it's not that easy to start something, and it's more difficult to continue. And to continue it and expand is much more difficult. The fact that he has taken this path and the journey of journalism and making news, it's admirable, because this is not an easy job. As per Reporters Without Borders, 65 journalists were killed or died in 2017. That means it is a risky business, because you have to travel to areas where there are dangers, where you could be killed. And 65 journalists have died in the year 2017. Even in India, it's not that easy. As per Reporters Without Borders, from 1992 to 2017, 47 journalists have died, even in India. So because you have to travel to difficult terrain and report on difficult and sensitive issues, on social injustice, on denial of rights, as Samast Bharat magazine reported about denial of compensation of 2,000 rupees. Later, after the reporting, that person was compensated with 2 lakhs rupees. So reporters have power. At the same time, they face danger because you have to travel to places, you have to report such things against big and the powerful, and it's not that easy. So hence, journalism or the media is considered the fourth pillar, and is a very important profession because you have an enormous responsibilities to make sure that the government that is there is delivering as per the promises, and the welfare and the schemes that they have is actually delivered to the poor and the needy. If they don't, then you have to report and expose, and which is a difficult thing to do. So hence, journalism is an admirable job, admirable profession, and media is very important to make democracy work. But at the same time, nowadays, media is also getting a bit commercialized. Journalisms or journalists, at least few, are also getting compromised. So we have to be aware of those kinds, that the media is not abused, and journalism or journalists don't take and report things that are essentially not true and creates disharmony in the society as well. So there are both pluses and minuses, but I think more pluses than minuses, but we should be aware because journalism is a very, very important profession, and media is a very, very important pillar of democracy. Hence, India is a vibrant democracy because we have independent media and independent judiciary. So hence, I don't want to say much because I'm sure all of you will be listening to many more people to come, and more you see people talking, more you get bored, because talking is very easy, but doing is very difficult. Now finally, let me conclude by saying, personally, also I owe a great debt and gratitude to India and Indian people, because I grew up in a place called Darjeeling, which is similar to, because it's my hometown, maybe I should say as beautiful, maybe a little more beautiful than Dharamshala, maybe. I can be a little biased here. So I grew up near Tea Garden as well. So I grew up in a refugee camp. I went to refugee school. Then with a modest upbringing, we had just 2 acres of land and a dozen chicken and 2 or 3 cows at most. That's how our parents made their living and supported us. From there I went to Delhi University, to Hansraj College, and then to Delhi Campus Law Center. Actually, Delhi Campus Law Center was considered the best during those days, and now national law schools have taken over. So from there I got Fulbright scholarship to do master's degree in law. Then I went to America, did my master's degree in law from Harvard Law School, and I stayed on and did my doctorate degree from Harvard. Then I spent, and I was employed. I worked at Harvard University for 7 years. So altogether I spent 16 years in America. And in 2011, I was elected as shared by Tibetans around the world in 40 countries, and I returned to serve for the Tibetan cause. And Tibetan administration is right here in Dharamshala, and you all are welcome to visit our library, and the parliament, our office is right here. It's yours. It's as much as ours and as much as yours. It's part of the Himachal, part of the Himachal Pradesh. So please do come. And we have a wonderful medical institute. Tibetan medicine is very well known. Many cancer patients, I get a lot of calls from VIPs and celebrities saying, oh, someone I know is very sick in last stage of cancer. Can you get an appointment issued to them, because, or other doctors here, because it's very difficult to get appointments. They distribute about 30 or 40 tickets a day, and people line up from 1 or 2 a.m. for next week's appointment. So obviously they have to call. I'm from Mumbai, I'm from Delhi, I'm such and such powerful, I'm a well-known person. Can we get this Tibetan medicine, Tibetan doctors, very well known around the world. I think 5%, if not 10% of the passenger in planes coming to Dharamshala are coming for Tibetan medical treatment. And obviously we are very fortunate to have His Holiness Dalai Lama living here. And Dharamshala is also known as a place where His Holiness Dalai Lama lives. So hence, from where I came from to where I went, 2011 I've come back. So I'm very happily settled here. I just won my re-election last year. So I'm in my 7th year of 10th year term. So we have 2 terms limit. In 3 years I'll be completing my term. But nonetheless, my time here is well spent. The love and the kindness shown by people in Dharamshala and Himachal Pradesh will be always remembered and cherished by me and all the Tibetans. And me and the Tibetan people inside and outside will say that this great country called India is incredible, both in word and in deed. So thank you very much. Shukriya, hardik shukriya.
बहुत बहुत आभार प्रेसिडेंट महोदय, आपने हिंदुस्तान के बारे में, हिंदुस्तान की संस्कृति के बारे में और हिमाचल खासकर धर्मशाला के बारे में आपने जो कहा उसके लिए हम आभारी रहेंगे। आप यहाँ हैं इसके भी हम आभारी हैं और हमें इस क्षेत्र को पावन दलाई लामा जी का आशीर्वाद जो है वो हमेशा मिलता रहता है और शायद उन्हीं की वजह से यहाँ पर कोई भी किसी प्रकार की कोई दिक्कत नहीं आती। मैं एक बार फिर चाहूँगा कि तिब्बतन कम्युनिटीज़ के लिए, पावन दलाई लामा जी के लिए और लोबसंग सांग्या जी के लिए जोरदार तालियां एक बार फिर।